Hello everyone, I'm Corion, your witch in residence here on YouTube. Before we dig in, I have two announcements today. The first one, if you have not yet subscribed, please consider do so. All you have to do is log into YouTube up there and then go ahead and hit subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I put out a video. That being said, you will see a video every Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's my promise to you, except for issue 2, which is during Sin's show on YouTube a week or so ago. A special request was made. So I have decided that a very special transmission from the Rogue Council is going to be put on my channel this week. Here's the deal though, it is only going to stay active for 36 hours. Then I'm deleting the video, and it's going to be up to you guys to go ahead and watch that video in time. So make sure you have notifications turned on or you're going to miss it. Now, with that obligatory ritual out of the way, let's begin looking into Young Justice Phantoms. Now, there are several stories that get told this season, and to be perfectly honest, a lot of them deal with a lot of stuff that I don't want to get into. The one that I want to talk about is the story of Zatanna and Her Students. Okay. Now, Zatanna, seen here with me, yes, everybody in the mystical circles all know each other, got a group of students together. These students are Kahaled, a young, soon-to-be doctor who inherited his mystical arts and is learning to deal with those abilities. 13, a young girl who has whose magic expressed as the ability to exploit bad luck. But since then, she's gained a familiar, a young lizard named Leroy, and is starting to come into her own urban magical powers. And then, of course, the character that is most interesting in the arc, Mary. Now, young Mary Batson is the brother of Billy Batson, Captain Marvel. And when she utters the magical words Shazam, can become Sergeant Marvel, a 18-year-old beautiful version of the Captain Marvel powers. Now, our young Mary here is very reluctant to use those abilities though, because she abused them previously. So she's been attempting to learn how to use her magic without relying on her superhero abilities. Now, these three characters, in my opinion, represent the typical three students that we see when we are looking at young students getting into learning magic. Okay. We see Kahaled, the reluctant student, who is having difficulty understanding their abilities in relationship to their culture or their faith. We see this many, many times previously. And it takes them searching within themselves to see the solution come to pass. 13 is the questing student. They are interested in magic for magic's sake, and they want to learn and grow and understand this beautiful ability that is presented to them. I'll admit, that's the kind of person that I am. I didn't get into it for power. I got into it because it was amazing and wonderful, and I wanted to share that gift and those talents with the world. And hopefully I've been sharing that level of some of that magic with you here on YouTube. And then we have Mary. Mary is searching for magic because she needs to feel powerful. She has previously felt powerless, and she's looking at this as a path to power. This is the most dangerous kind of student, and honestly, the one that most teachers would reject most of the time because they're not in it for the right reasons, and it will take them to dark places. Now, when we look at that, there are. I'm going to start with an interesting hypothesis for all of you. Zatanna, my friend, is an absolutely terrible teacher. And when I say terrible teacher, I mean she is teaching for the wrong reasons. She's selfish. She's exploiting these kids to get further in her own goals instead of teaching them because they need to be taught. There is a saying among my kind, which is, when the teacher and the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And for the most part, this is true. Every student that I have taught in ceremonial magic has come to me with a genuine quest to learn. They need to understand what has been presented to them. I typically don't do well myself with reluctant students, as I have a hard time understanding them. And to be honest, I don't feel like taking them on that kind of a journey. And the power obsessed, I'm very careful of, but I try to help them understand themselves first, because one should not give the power obsessed more power until you're sure that they're going to use it in the right manner. And that is the most difficult trick of all, and why only seriously experienced and well-trained teachers should attempt to teach others how to manipulate wonder for any kind of advantage. I've seen many, many students fail and have absolutely Icarus-like falls from greatness because they needed the power of a sun instead of genuinely wanting to understand it and learn first. Tony Stark, famously in the first Iron Man movie, says, "Sometimes you have to run before you can walk." And while I understand why a Mr. Stark would say that, in mystical traditions, one must learn to crawl and then walk before one can run. And we see the result because of Zatanna's selfishness and because of the unwillingness of this young lady this young Mary Batson to learn to control and focus her abilities in a positive way. Young Sergeant Marvel becomes Black Mary, a dark mirror of the superhero she once was. This is a lesson I think we all need to take to heart. We all need to understand before we start on any sort of path towards any power in any type of your life. Ask yourself, when you are learning something, why you want to learn it. Are you seeking it for knowledge's sake? Are you seeking it because you have to? Are you seeking it because you want to learn genuinely what you need to learn? And we can apply this to anything. Let's take a look at it from a perspective of learning how to cook. Something very simple. Most of us needed to learn how to cook. So we would put ourselves into almost a reluctant space. But most of us transition from that to genuinely learning how to want to cook some great meal. Maybe it's because we want to impress our friends or be able to take care of them while we're all living together. Of course, learning how to cook because they think it will give them a sense of control over others, as some chefs have done in the past because they need to feel like the strong, powerful bully in the kitchen, is not a great path forward. And how often have we heard of chefs having substance abuse problems because they wanted to get into this situation for power and they needed to feel strong or feel something. This corrupts the work. So here's what I'm going to ask, and this is what I'm going to plead with all of you before you start any endeavor, any at all. Ask yourself why you're starting it. Do you want to do it because it's fun, because you want to learn how? Are you doing it because you need to do it? Or are you doing it because you think it will make you powerful over someone else? And I beg of you, if you are doing it for power's sake alone, stop and don't do it. Power does not come from being able to lord something over others. Power should always come from a need. If you genuinely need to do something, then learn how, become great at it, do it, and use your talents to benefit everyone around you, not lord it over them. There's a true axiom of kings, and that is that the king should be the greatest servant of the realm. And this is true. True kings will acknowledge that they are entering a social contract with the people that they serve, that they are given this gift of power over them, not to lord it over them, but instead to use that power to improve everyone's life and make everything better in their kingdom. This is true of anyone in any role, be it a supervisor at McDonald's, all the way up to CEOs of mega corporations. Even some of the most powerful men could learn this lesson, that the truth and the goal should always be to better themselves and their fellow man, not to gain power simply for power's sake. So my homework is going to be this. I would like each of you to come up with a thing that you want to learn for knowledge's sake, because you think it would be fun to learn, and comment down in the comment section. If somebody, while you're trolling through the comments, if you see a skill that somebody is looking to learn and you have it, please reach out to them and offer to help them learn it. I think we could become a great place of positive learning and give everyone the sense of wonder you felt when you got to finally understand the secrets of something you were learning to do. Recently, I actually learned a little bit about leatherworking, and I'm seriously considering getting into it and making some pouches and making some fun things for around the home as well. So I really encourage everybody to pick something up like that and just get into something because you think it would be fun. So please go ahead and comment below if you think this would be something you're interested in doing. As always, I have been your witch in residence. If you feel like it, please share this video out. I'd like to hit 1,000 subscribers before December 31st, and I need your help to do that. So please meet me halfway, share out the video, try to get people interested. I would really appreciate it. The next viewer will really appreciate it. And guys, this has been my video. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Thank you very much. Take care.